passing it down from one to another, or from a husband to a wife, or from a father to a son. And it's time for us to give a little bit boost to term limits by invoking some conservative term limits and bringing back some logical, youthful energy into our state capitol. Because I've got to tell you, as much as I respect the Republican Party, many of us in this room are just as frustrated with what Republicans have done as we are with Democrats, aren't we?
Yeah!
And when Republicans do things that are wrong, we should call them on the carpet and vote them out. And that's why it's time for Chase Turner, and that's why I'm here supporting Chase. I'm running for the House of Representatives also. It's my honor to ask for your support. And like I said in the military, to all the men and women that served with me, I won't let you down. Next Wednesday, I'm going to invite you real quickly. Next Wednesday, we happen to have a town hall meeting. I know it's not in South Lyon, so please forgive me. We had one just in Milford last night, as a matter of fact. We're going to be in Novi. So if you've got nothing better to do, next Wednesday at 7 p.m., we're in the Novi Public Library. We would be honored to have you. Oh, we're at the, I'm grateful he corrected me. We're at the Novi Civic Center, which is not too far away from the Novi Library. At 7 p.m. on Wednesday, I'd be honored. If we haven't earned your vote tonight, we're going to close the deal next Wednesday. So as the crow flies, it's about 6.5 miles directly east of here on 10 Mile Road, as you know, the Civic Center. And I would be honored to have you ask any questions next Wednesday. Otherwise, I've served in the military. I own a business, a logistics supply company. We do supply chain management. We grew that. My wife and I created that about 6 years ago. And now we're at $28 million in gross sales. Wow. I understand a little bit about tariffs because part of our business, about a third of our business, is involving the steel trade. So it does hurt us in some respects because we provide the automotive industry with stainless steel tubes. My number one and number two issues is the border, enforcing the border. My parents and my wife's parents were both immigrants. They were legal immigrants, but let's do it the right way, right? Let's do it the legal way. And let's bring sponsorship back. Let's not make the government responsible for everyone that comes into this country. Let's make families responsible for their families like it used to be, like when my parents came to this country. And also, most importantly, the national debt and wasteful spending. We need to stop the wasteful spending and take care of our national debt because in 2-3 years from now, we're going to be basically on a cliff. We're already there, but in another 2-3 years, we're going to have major problems. So enough about me. We're here to support Chase Turner, aren't we?
Yeah!
And the only way you're going to get Chase Turner in this office is if every single one of you knock on a door, drag your neighbors to the ballots, or drag them to get an absentee ballot. Now, one of my most hated movies I've ever had to sit through and pay for was a movie called Dumb and Dumber. And in that movie, one of the characters is asking a young lady out to date. And he asks her out to date, and she's giving him the nah. He says, well, just break it to me. What's my chances of going on a date with you? I'm getting to the punchline. And she says, well, and she's really hemming and hawing for telling him, I think you know the part that I'm talking about. And finally says, just break it to me. Is it 1 in a million? Just tell me, is it 1 in a million? And she says, yeah, it's 1 in a million. And he goes, yes! So there is a chance. Well, let me tell you, let me bring some good news to you. This is not a shot in the dark.
No
Chase
way.
Turner is not a 1 in a million shot in the dark.
No way.
Your support and your opportunity to get friends out and get them motivated, get Chase Turner in, will truly shock the incumbents in Lansing. So thank you, George, for bringing me out.
All right, our next speaker, before we get to Chance, is going to be lifetime resident Ted Wallace, former mayor. Several times.
What a shirt.
If it's 80 degrees or hotter, I wear these.
We love you, Ted.
We love you, Ted.
Anyways, he hit on, Rocky hit on their point. This crowd can grow to 100 times bigger. That's all it's going to take in the primary. You know how few people vote in primaries. And you guys can make a huge difference here. Seriously. He said knock on doors, certainly do some talking. And you will find that you got a chance. That's what we're looking for. Vote for change, vote for Chase, and I support you.
Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
All right, finally, we talk about knocking on doors, helping each other out, and getting the message through. It's very easy. Facebook, share it, like it, keep it moving, however you need to do it. You get an email blast from Chase, send it to a friend, forward it to just one friend. Ask them to forward it to one friend. Very simple way to do it. Other way, as everybody knows, when you're running a campaign, it's very tough, and these last 2 weeks are very tough. These young faces out there asking for the money, handing out the sheets. If you could please fill that out. $1 to $1,000, it doesn't matter. Every cent helps us out going into these last few weeks here, because we need it. We're gonna make that push, and we're gonna get the fresh face into Lansing, and that change that is needed, and get the rhinos out. That's our biggest thing we're gonna do. Now on top of that, I joined up with Chase about a month and a half ago, I wanna say, and it's been a complete pleasure. 23 years old, very knowledgeable, and that's amazing for 23. My 16-year-old has his head in the phone all the time. That's what I thought I was going to be talking to when I talked to 23. So, but I'm very excited to work with Chase. Chase has been non-stop working, knocking doors, and that's the biggest thing I want to let everybody know here. He knocked on every door in Walled Lake alone. He is hitting Novi now really hard, hitting South Lyon hard. We're hoping this event helps us with South Lyon even more. The incumbent, she's out of Novi. We got to go take her down in her own turf. All right, so he's going to keep knocking, keep going. Team of them keep going in there, dropping flyers. But please, for the ones that are here, share the message. Keep it moving forward. It's the only way it gets stronger. That's what happened in 2016. The grassroots got Donald J. Trump for president. It was up to everybody else here that did it. So thank you again for everyone coming out. Please check out the Trump Unity Bridge when you go outside, get some pictures with it. Also, Rob is going to be selling some red hats there. Trump 2020. And is it September, Rob, we're talking? September or October for the red hat day?
Well, it's in September, there's a red hat day where everybody's gonna wear their red hats for the whole weekend in honor of that boy that was in a restaurant. They ripped his hat off of him.
Oh, yeah.
And they got videotaped and kicked,
How dare
President
they.
Trump sent them the red hat and signed it. So everybody's, it's been crazy. Some guys screamed at and terrorized a teenager in a restaurant wearing a red hat. So all of America is standing together strong and have a red hat weekend in September. You'll find it on Facebook. So we're selling red hats. And tonight, every red hat we sell, $5 out of every hat goes to Chase's campaign. So I would like to ask everybody at one point, we don't want everybody to leave. I'd like to get everybody on the balcony and have Chase speak from the thing and everybody go live while Chase speaks from the Unity Bridge on the balcony out here. Because that would make a major impact on the media with people seeing a balcony full of people and the Unity Bridge and Chase speaking and all the followers up on the balcony. All right? So
Can he hop on the Harley while he does that?
I'll start the Harley.
All right.
You can sit on the Harley and grab the engine.
So are you moving out there for me to speak?
Eventually, no.
Let's
Let's get the message in here first. So please, once again, this is a meet and greet. Please talk to Chase if you haven't talked to him already. Ask him the questions. You know, the hard-hitting questions here. So please, once again, Chase Turner. Thank you.
I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. You could have done anything with your Friday night. You chose to be here. You chose to support us. We really appreciate this grassroots movement that's not just going on throughout the country, but it's going on throughout our state. And you know, I can't thank George enough for holding this amazing event for us tonight.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. kind words from Ted, kind words from Rocky, and you know, a lot of this wouldn't be possible without the people that are, you know, working, knocking the doors with us, going out and meeting the voters. You know, people like Alec over here, people like Griffin, people like Paige. I don't know where she's at, but Paige, thank you. And all those behind the scenes that are really trying to make our state great again. And you know, everyone that's donated to our campaign, we can't thank you enough. You know, it means a lot for you to take a financial commitment to us and what we're doing. So you know, that's a tough commitment. We really do appreciate it. You know, all the future voters, everybody that's voting in here, the only way we're going to get conservative people elected is if we show up at the polls August 7th and choose the right candidates that are going to represent us in Lansing and they're going to represent us in Washington, D.C. And I also want to do a little shout out to Colbeck because I think we really need to get him. So a lot of people wonder, well, you know, what's a 23-year-old doing running as a conservative Republican, you know, and taking on a, you know, a rhino incumbent. But you know, when I was in high school, I was in an AP government class, and right then is when I started to see slanted teaching styles that shows you this is how it is rather than, you know, here are the facts, you make your own decision. And that's really scary for the future of our nation, the future of our country. It's because you have people almost indoctrinating our kids with evidence that is almost not there. And so I started to take real keen interest in politics at that point in time. And I started to want to learn about things behind the scenes. And then when President Trump announced his candidacy in 2016, I said, wow, this is great. This is a guy saying everything that everybody's thinking.
That's right.
He's saying the hard-hitting questions that people say, oh, you know, we don't want to hear about that. And so I followed that campaign, and watching him win gave me the motivation that the people do have the choice. And it's not the lobbyists, and it's not the businesses, and it's not the establishment behind closed doors. Because
They're the only ones that
the
matter.
only ones that matter, yes. It's the people. That's it. That's who we're here for. It's for the people. Not for these $100,000 checks to go vote against something that's going to hurt all of us. But I think we all know that politicians are corrupted and they are crooked in a sense because they get to their positions and they get this temptation, you know, the temptation of grab the fruit, you know, kind of like an Adam and Eve type of thing. Grab it, grab it, grab it. And so many of them succumb to that and they grab it. But we need to elect people that are strong enough to stay true to what they say they're going to do. And that is missing not only at the national level, but at the local level as well. And, you know, we work for the people. We don't work for the lobbyists. We don't work for the special interests. And when I talk about education, and I talk about how it's slanted, and I talk about how they don't give us the facts, you know, there's a reason why I want to immediately repeal Common Core. It's not the Washington bureaucrats that should dictate the way that our children are taught at the local levels. It's the parents and it's the teachers who see them on a daily basis that should dictate the way that their education goes. And, you know, if we can't change that, I don't know what we're going to change because education is where everything starts and where everything ends. And if you totally just take that down, you take down an entire nation. You know, we have so many issues within our state. And these are issues that have been plaguing us year after year after year after year. I mean, I think everybody in this room can agree our roads are the worst in America. I hope there aren't any
Worse than Mars.
Yeah, worse than Mars, absolutely. We need to reconstruct these roads from the ground up. You know, it's funny. Somebody said this to me, and they went down to Ohio, and they go, oh, wow, these roads are so good. It's like, oh, I'm in Ohio. There's good roads. So we have to reconstruct them from the ground up. We have to put the right materials in them so that they're going to last longer. We're not going to have our 5th season of the year in Michigan, which is patch and replace, traffic here, traffic there. You're getting out of work, you're getting home at 6:15. You can't have that. You know, and I think everyone else agrees. Auto insurance. You know, we pay the highest rates in the nation. And I hate to bash my opponent, but you know, had an opportunity to lower your auto insurance by 40%, but chose not to. So what does that say about loyalty to your constituents when somebody who claims they are loyal to their constituents? Who's for it? But I grew up, faith Christian-based man. I do believe that everything that we do is in glory to God. And
Amen.
we're just here as placeholders, and we're doing His work. And we can only work so hard. And that's why I do believe in loving my neighbor, and I do believe in the honesty, that encompasses all this. Because I do see in the Republican Party we have so many civil wars going. And it's like let's kind of unify and come together to beat the Democrats that are going so far downhill. And speaking about God and given rights, I'm pro-life. I believe life starts at conception. It's never okay to essentially kill another human being just for inconvenience or just for any reason. And that's also why I believe that every citizen deserves the right to defend themselves with the Second Amendment. There's a lot of gun grabbers out there, and they are trying as hard as they can to get your guns.
Try it.
Try it. They're not getting them. I know Mark says they're not getting them.
Shall not be infringed.
No.
But again, I hate to bring up my opponent, but you write on a questionnaire, hey, I am for constitutional carry. Okay, so that's a great thing to say. I am for it too. But then the vote comes around, and you vote against it. So it goes back to the dishonesty that is in the politicians. Because for far too long, our politicians' pockets have been lined at the expense of the taxpayers. And we need to change that. We need the government to work for the people. It's not for the Lansing lobbyists. It's not for the Washington lobbyists. It's not for these big businesses. It's for us. When did that change? Well, I'll tell you when it changed. When Donald Trump got elected in 2016.
Yeah.
Which we're all
Love you, man.
and to end this, I love this country. I love this state. And to make America great again, we have to make Michigan great again. And the only way we're going to do that is to elect people that are willing to stand up to those that are opposing that initiative. And it's not just the Democrats, believe it or not. It's the establishment Republicans as well. Because they don't want to see their gravy trains being upset.
Fake Republicans.
There are a lot of fake Republicans out there. And we've been attacked by many of them. Facebook messages, emails, voicemails, calls, all these things. Drop out of the race. You shouldn't do this. Fake address. Fake campaign. Well, I'm glad they're sending those things because it means that we're actually doing something and we're showing the voice to each and every one of the individuals that want to enact the change that we need. So I really want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. It means a ton to me, but it means a ton more to the state of Michigan and the 38th district that you spent your night here meeting us. And like I said, remember, we have to vote August 7th because if we don't vote, we can't enact the change we need. So on August 7th, we need to vote for the candidates that we believe are going to fix our nation and fix our country. Fix our country and fix our state. So, thank you for being here. I'm Chase Turner, and I'll be here all night. Yeah, if any of you didn't know, I'm Chase Turner. I approve this speech, but in all honesty, we really do have the power to make the government the way that we want it to make it. And we just got to go to the polls. We got to keep knocking doors. We have to keep talking to people and let them know that, prosperity in our future is possible. We can do it. So again, thank you. And anyone who wants to talk to me personally, I'll be here all night. After 8, we're still going to be here. We're having a good night. So again, I want to thank you all for being here and spending your night listening to me talk to you.